Take a train from Chicago, and in 9 hours, a drive down I-35, an exit in the middle of nowhere, gets you here. Lamoni. Lamoni, Iowa. My hometown. My college town. My comfort food. The back of my hand. 1 hour in this place and you'll know everything you need to. 12 years and you'll know everything else. That's the charm of it. It's kind of like the Cheers of places to live, except there's no bar. So if you're looking for a nice stop to get a beer, or you're watching this and planning on living vicariously through me, best move on, because you're not going to get it here. What you will get, however, is a damn fine community, a place to relax and unwind, and you will almost definitely get pizza. We have a lot of pizza. Pizza Hut, Casey's General Store, I'm pretty sure this Welcome Center serves pizza, and finally, we have a staple of the town, Pizza Shack. A go-to spot for university alum and visiting families, this place has been around for quite some time. After recent renovations and a few changes of owners, Pizza Shack is at the top of places to visit. But I'm not going there. Nope. Today I have other plans. Smoked meat kind of plans. How you kind of, like you're smoking meat now, how you kind of turn this business into your own
I'm
thing?
trying to get something different in the town of Lamoni.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing like that. Nobody's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
The closer you get.
Chris Pierce, owner of Pierce's Dairy Cup, sat down with me to talk about running a business in Lamoni and some of the things that business owners have to think about when trying to survive here.
Lamoni doesn't have much.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to come to town and eat in this town, eat pizza.
Yeah.
Because what, you got 3 of them.
Yeah, you get, yeah.
So I'm trying to do something different, and I don't want to bombard them with just doing barbecue every day,
Right.
because they'll get burned out. Once a week, Friday, do a barbecue, see how many people show up.
Mm-hmm.
Only make so much, run out, and you're done for the day.
Yeah.
Business in Lamoni is a very tough business to be in, because if you don't get the support from the people in this town and the college
Right.
college has helped out quite a bit. As soon as it's over in the summertime, everybody in this town leaves,
Yeah.
figuring all the kids go to camps. And it's just a dead town. But look at this town. It's old.
It's old.
I mean, the people in it are old.
Yeah.
And they have health problems. And they can't have greasy hamburgers.
Right.
So we're going to try to do something with the barbecue and see if that takes off.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a little bit more healthier way of looking at things.
This town is old. Not as old as the places you might see on an actual travel show, not as old as Florence or Beijing, but old in the American way. Antique old.
Well, domestically, there were 2 groups that really came. One were the immigrants from the Upper South.
This is Tom Moraine, an Iowa historian currently living in Lamoni and dealing with the government relations at Graceland, the university in town. I sat down with him to ask some questions about Iowa history and understand the couple centuries of time before I lived here. Guess what? It was different.
I think we would be surprised at the amount of time it took to prepare foods traditionally. We knew at Living History Farms, a study from 1900 said that the average farm wife spent 5 hours a day in meal preparation and cleanup. That's not gardening. And then we would turn that back to the junior high kids that thought it was so much fun to come out and play farmer. What could you not do in your daily life if you had to spend 5 hours a day in meal preparation?
Right. While that has changed, some things are still the same.
And there we have meat eaters.
Meat. Iowa's cattle industry contributed over $6 billion to Iowa's economy in 2013. And just driving around the outskirts of Lamoni, you can see why. Cows. Cows everywhere. And Iowa eats a lot of them.
The major meal was at noon, and it would be a piece of meat, potatoes, canned vegetables through the year, fruits from the orchard that were put into preserves or jams, jellies. They could produce most of the food that they needed. They usually bought flour in 50-pound sacks and sugar and maybe some spices. But other than that, it was pretty much what they could produce on their own.
It makes you wonder, what kinds of people are coming to Iowa recently? What kinds of immigrants are moving here?
20th century immigration has tended away from Europe and toward Latin America, Mexico certainly in the late 1970s. Iowa hosted a major refugee resettlement from Southeast Asia, mostly Vietnamese fleeing from that country who were in refugee camps. We see certainly Latin American cooking. When I was growing up, we never had sour cream with hamburger dishes. Guacamole was unheard of. We rarely used avocados that I can remember, and all of those are common in the diet now.
Yeah.
We also great growth in Italian cooking.
Right, we have like 3 pizza places.
Familiar. When my mother, when she made Italian spaghetti, put it in a casserole and cut it into little strips so you didn't have long strings, and put a cheese top on it.
Mm-hmm.
We were of the Protestant variety that believed certain combinations of oregano and garlic would lead to carnal thoughts. So we always smeared it with cheese sauce, and that made it safe.
Even as Iowa is changing and different cultures start to integrate with ours, this place is still my living, breathing Demuth painting. It really is my Egypt. And you should come here. People should come here. These towns deserve business. But me, I'm ready to leave, to experience the real Egypt. Until then, however...
Still, I have ice cream.
All right, cut. That was great.